the Razzie Award nominations have been announced. The Razzies are, of course, a kind of a fun awards where they announce the worst films of the year, worst performances. Film Threat actually was a sponsor of the Razzies back in the 90s. I co-presented worst film of the year. It was in the early 90s. We gave them a big check. I think we paid them $1,000 to sponsor the event. We were trying to promote Film Threat. We had just moved to Los Angeles, and we're kind of just, trying to figure everything out here. Let me go to the Razzies. I have it up here. Let's look at the nominees to see if there are any surprises. Alan, the Razzie nominations, here they are. I'm going to blow that up a little bit so it'll be easier to read. How about that?
Can you drop that ad?
I'm going to drop that ad. How about that? Razzie Noms 2024, Chris Evans and Jennifer Lopez up for Worst Actors. Shazam 2 and Ant-Man 3 tie with 4 nods. Let's take a look.
How's the Marvels not on that list?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Let's go to it. Okay. Award season is here, which means it is also time for the annual Golden Raspberries Awards. The Razzies, which aims to dishonor the least successful films of the year, has announced nominations for its 44th edition. The most nominated film is Expendables, the 4th entry in the action-packed but critically underwhelming The Expendables franchise. It received 7 nominations. Alan, would you even have guessed that?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't see Expendables 4, so I wouldn't know, but it doesn't surprise me.
I saw Expendables 4. Tied for second place with 5 nominations are The Exorcist Believer. That's a movie that I think you and I both forgot for worst film because it was so forgettable and bad. It was bad. The revival of the classic horror series and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Hey, a blood-soaked take on everyone's favorite honey-loving bear. 2 big-budget superhero movies, DC's Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, both got 4 nominations. Oh my God. Not only will the Marvels not get any Oscar nominations, the Marvels was snubbed at the Razzies.
Oh. It can't get a break.
Cannot get a break. Last year, Andrew Dominik's Blonde led the competition with 8 nominations, going on to bag the prize for Worst Picture. The group also felt compelled to issue an apology last year after nominating then 11-year-old actor Ryan Kiera Armstrong in the category of Worst Actress for her performance in the horror remake Firestarter. The nod was met with sharp criticism, with original Firestarter star Drew Barrymore saying, "It makes my blood boil." We believe a public apology is owed Ms. Armstrong, and we wish to say we regret any hurt she experienced as a result of our choices. Razzie's founder John Wilson wrote in a statement, I met John at that Razzies that we did in the early 90s. I can't believe this. Congratulations to him for still doing it. I love it. Who would think that when I was a kid that I would still be doing Film Threat, a kid in the 80s, and I'm still doing Film Threat? What am I doing? YouTube was very old-timey back then in the 80s. Old-timey YouTube. It was black and white. We used a pinhole camera. There were no super chats. It's very old. It was the old west of YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, you had to wait a week for it to get developed.
You had to develop the film and then upload it to YouTube. Yeah. I'll have to dig up some of those old shows from the 80s that we did for YouTube. It doesn't exist. I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah. So we have never intended to bury anyone's career. It is why our Redeemer Award was created. We all make mistakes, very much us included. Since our motto is own your bad, we realize that we ourselves must also live up to it. Let's look at that. Let's actually skip over this, and we're just going to go right to the nominees.
That's and that's not even. How is that the story of this year? That's my
right. No, I'm gonna read this real quick. We gotta get through this because Oscar noms in 12 minutes, folks. The Razzies also found itself compelled to issue another act of penance last year, naming a special award to Bruce Willis, with numerous direct-to-video actioners in recent years. So funny they call it direct-to-video. That's not a term that anyone uses. It's direct. It's like VOD. His movies come out on VOD. The actor had
streaming. That's how
or streaming, whatever. The actor had become such a Razzie regular that the award group created a category of worst performance by a Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie. Sounds like something we would do. After Willis and his family publicly disclosed the actor's struggles with aphasia, a language disorder that causes brain damage, the Razzies rescinded the award. Founded in 1981, Razzie nominations are now determined by a select committee before ballots are issued to the membership. And okay, this is what I love about the Razzies. That's why I want to read this. Anybody can become a voting member of the Razzies by paying an annual fee of $40 or a lifetime membership of $500. Even with those funds rolling in, though, the organization's antiquated official website seems to be formatted for internet users from more than a decade ago. Oh my God, I'm going to go to this.
Wow. Thanks, Variety.
I don't mind. It's cool. Here's the full list of nominations.
Okay.
Let's go through these.
Yes. How are the Marvels on that list? Okay, let's go.
Yes. Okay, for worst picture, The Exorcist Believer, Expendables 4, Meg 2, The Trench, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I think the Marvels was snubbed. Yeah. I think it was snubbed.
You could have dropped Winnie the Pooh, and Shazam was a better movie than the Marvels.
Yes. Let us continue here. Worst actor: Russell Crowe, The Pope's Exorcist, Vin Diesel for Fast X, Chris Evans, Ghosted. That movie was terrible. Jason Statham, Meg 2, The Trench. I like Jason Statham. That movie was a bad movie. Yeah. John Voight for Mercy. I don't think I saw Mercy.
I didn't either.
Worst actress: Anna de Armas, Ghosted, Megan Fox, Johnny and Clyde. Oh my God. Johnny and Clyde, that's a movie. Clearly, we haven't been doing our jobs, Alan, because we're not like.
Yeah, because we didn't see every single movie that came out.
We didn't see every single movie that came out last year. Salma Hayek for Magic Mike's Last Dance. That was bad. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez, The Mother, and Dame Helen Mirren for Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Again, how's the Marvels not on that list?
I agree. Worst supporting actress: Kim Cattrall, About My Father, Megan Fox, Expendables, Bai Ling for Johnny and Clyde. I love Bai Ling. I follow her on Instagram. You should follow Bai Ling. That's all I'm saying. Lucy Liu, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Mary Stuart Masterson for Five Nights at Freddy's. I like Five Nights at Freddy's. Any comments on that?
Yeah. Again, Marvels, not on the list.
Yeah. Wait, I'm having trouble finding the Oscar nominations.
The what?
It says it's going to be announced. I don't know. We'll find it.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that.
Did you
hear that?
Start in 9 minutes.
Start in 9 minutes. My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies, folks, for that. Let's continue to go through
there's a timer now on the
oh, that's good. That's good. Oh my God, the Razzies website looks like the old first version of the Film Threat website. The first version of the Film Threat website launched in 1996.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
You actually had to hand code it.
It was HTML.
Yeah.
It was weird. I remember going, that's how you would have to italicize something? What a pain in the ass. You can't just highlight it like in Word.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're supporting actor Michael Douglas for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Mel Gibson, Confidential Informant, Bill Murray, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Wow, Ant-Man and the Wasp is getting a lot of love here. Franco Nero as the Pope in The Pope's Exorcist, Sylvester Stallone, The Expendables. He's barely in the movie. Let's see. Worst screen couple: any two merciless mercenaries from Expendables 4, any two money grubbing investors who donated to the $400 million remake rights to The Exorcist. This is funny. Yeah. Anna de Armas and Chris Evans, who flunked screen chemistry in Ghosted. Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum for Magic Mike's Last Dance. Pooh and Piglet as bloodthirsty slasher killers in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Again, Ms. Captain Marvel and her husband. How is that not a?
Yeah, that was another no chemistry. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel: Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, The Exorcist Believer, Expendables. Did these people see like 5 movies this year?
I know.
What is this? I mean, I agree with all these choices,
I mean,
but
like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's an indie film for crying out loud.
first of all, I love it. I love it. I think that you know what happens with the Razzies is someone will show up who's famous to get the award as a
Yeah.
goof.
Oh, that's true.
It's possible like Chris Evans would just go, forget it, I'll just show up.
Didn't Sandra Bullock do that? Or
yeah, every year they'll get someone really famous to show up to go, whatever, this is fun, I'll take it. Chris Evans should go. Chris Evans should be in that new Captain America movie that they're making.
He should be.
Yeah, so okay, let's move on.
Or at least the Fantastic Four movie.
Worst director, Reese Frake Waterfield for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. David Gordon Green, The Exorcist Believer. Peyton Reed for Best Director, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Scott Waugh for Expendables 4, and Ben Wheatley, Meg 2, The Trench. I don't disagree with any of these choices. I just think that they missed the Marvels.
Well, let's face it. Of all these, the makers of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey will most likely be there.
And someone famous, you just watch. Someone famous will show up. Worst screenplay, The Exorcist Believer, Expendables 4, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Can I Go Home Now? I'm reading the text, by the way. That's not me making a joke. That's what's on in Variety, actually. And Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Money. Read more about the Razzie Awards. Are there more articles?
Probably.
Yeah, no, that's it. Let me show you the Razzies website because what the heck, why not? And by the way, I need to compliment you. Filmthreat.com is on fire right now. I was looking at it over the weekend. Reviews of Slam Dance movies, Sundance movies started hitting on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on fire. I see all the chatter. We have this chat app that everyone who writes for Film Threat on River, it's called River, whereas Miss Piccoffee likes to call it on River. She says on River. She says it just
with the Scottish accent.
Yeah. Well, Miss Piccoffee's Scottish. But let me show you the Razzie website. This is it. I'm in the Raz. This is Raz News, the Razzatory, your Razzie picks, the Raz blog. It just looks like a dilapidated, beat up drive-in movie theater. It says the 44th Razzie nominations. And it says, they got the hits. We got the shits. So it's at razzies.com. You can just go to razzies.com. And I guess they have merch. But, oh, wow, you can watch the nominations. Is it? Oh, it's on, the Razzies has a channel.
Oh, hey. Maybe
and they did like a little 1-minute video. Here it is. The sound's not on, but this is
After Effects in full force.
Look at that. I love it. Okay, what drive-in is that? Because I used to go to a drive-in, the Pacific Vineland Drive-In. So there you go. Look, there's the visual representation of all of it. Razzie, NOMS. Look, I love it. This is great. If you're looking at this, basically just what I said now, but in video form. So, but it looks like these are mostly movies from the first half of the year. Did they not see movies from the second half of the year?
Yeah.
Come on, Razzies. I know it's all good, but that is an abandoned drive-in thing. I didn't realize the Razzie Awards is literally a giant raspberry. I'm looking at it. Are you looking at this?
No, I'm trying to subscribe to the website or to the.
Anyways, so well, maybe there's other kind of merch. I was looking. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking for Dune merch, and there's not a lot of it. If you want to get some Dune merch, there is not a lot. So there you go. There are your Razzie nominees. I'm very excited. They missed the Marvels on purpose. I actually think so too. I think they missed the Marvels on purpose. So there you go.
Because you can't make fun of a child.
And that's the Razzies. Get excited. Yay.